Thought I'd do another July garden update. Since I did my last July video, there's some changes to the garden. We'll start out front flower bed. Daisies are still blooming. The yarrow, the bee balm is coming to an end. Daylilies are starting to bloom. Most of the buds were eaten by the deer down here. The plants aren't protected from the fence because they're on the outside, but that's okay. And this is my beautiful wild berry echinacea. It's so beautiful. This is the most flowers it's ever had. Canna lilies are getting bigger. I still have to weed the front flower bed. It's been so dry down here. We haven't had rain for a while, so it's hard to weed. I'll go inside the garden. It is Saturday, and the high today I believe is going to be 90 or 91, but there's a beautiful breeze, so it's not too bad. The humidity is not bad, but I am getting ready to go home soon. I was here since about 9 o'clock. Been harvesting my garlic. That's 2 varieties that I've harvested. Take that home. There's the front bed. As you can see, the garlic has been removed. Today I planted 2 rows of bush beans in its place. I still have the carrots and beets and spring onions. They're not ready yet to harvest. The cabbages are starting to head up, but it seems like they're kind of at a standstill right now, probably because we need rain. I gave them a good watering this morning, but they could use a nice rain. Kohlrabi, some of them are starting to bulb up, even though I didn't thin them. You can see some of them bulbing up. My beautiful cactus mixed zinnias, I'm really loving them. I'll be doing this every year now in my garden, putting rows of flowers in, either at the ends of my beds or in between plants. Here are my 4 dwarf varieties in buckets. They're doing okay. Everybody asks me about this variety. I want to know what the purple things are. This variety is called Shadow Boxing. They're just starting to ripen. I picked a few already. And then my front flower box, and where I also have my Swiss chard, doing okay. Swiss chard's starting to get attacked by insects. This lovely lavender yarrow, daisies. I believe these are black-eyed Susans. They're starting to bloom, and there's more of my daylilies blooming. That's the front. Go around to the back of bed 1, where I have my 8 dwarf varieties growing. They're really struggling this year. I don't know what the issue is, but they do have tomatoes on them though. You can see some of them are starting to ripen. Ripped out the snow peas today. And then here's bed 2. Like I said, I ripped out the snow peas, and I have my 10 tomato varieties. Onions in the front, doing wonderful. I don't normally video during the day, so I gotta deal with the shadows. This variety is Xanadu Green Goddess. Beautiful. Hopefully you can see that in the video. Some of the others, another row of zinnias. Loving these. Some of them are speckled. This is peppermint mixed zinnias, I believe. So those are in between my peppers and my tomatoes. And here's 9 pepper varieties, all starting to produce. Again, I took out the garlic that was on the end of this bed and planted 2 rows of bush beans. There's the peppers. Peppers are doing pretty well, I guess. They had a slow start, but now they seem to be taking off and they're all starting to produce peppers. Zinnias again. This is the back side of bed 2. I have also red and white onions growing. They're starting to bulb up nicely. Here's the other half of my 10 tomato varieties growing. Volunteer sunflower. Beautiful. My potato buckets, I think they're about ready to be dumped and see what's in the soil. I'm not expecting much, but we'll see. My dahlia, doing good, still not blooming yet, but it's growing. Some more pepper varieties in this front bed. Garlic chives, I noticed they're starting to get little flower heads on. They didn't open yet. So this is bed 3. Never got my bean TP in. Might still try to put it in. Might be pushing it though with planting pole beans. This is where the broccoli was. It's just empty right now. I just put some fresh straw down. This is some lettuce that's still hanging on, even in the heat. And then on the ends, this is where I had my sugar snap peas. Those were ripped out. And last weekend I planted chocolate runner beans. And they are starting to come up. All the beans I planted last Sunday were all up by Wednesday. It was amazing. Back side of bed 3, tomato plant. This is where I have my row of cherries, tomatoes. They're all starting to produce. Atomic grape. This is blue keys. Atomic grape also. This is that plant, tomato plant I posted on Facebook called Melon Ball. And I mean, I can't believe all the tomatoes on this little plant. So that's bed 3. Bed 4, calendula is still blooming. It's beautiful. I keep taking off the dried up heads and it just keeps producing more and more. I'll be harvesting the grass peas soon. They're all drying up. I grew them this year for seed, not to try, because I only had a couple seeds. So I will be letting the pods dry and saving those seeds. This is my cucumber bed. They're all starting to grow. I got them in later. 3 varieties with some nasturtiums. And then I have a cluster of canna lilies in the middle. Volunteer sunflower. Beautiful. Some more tomatoes. Got a pepper plant popped in here. These are doing good. My 3 hot peppers. Getting bigger. I gotta weed this bed. This is my last one I have to weed, and then the garden should be in good shape. My row of cosmos, they've really grew in the last couple weeks. I love the ferny leaves, pretty flowers. Go around the other side. Calendula. This is the other side of bed 4. Got a lot of purslane growing. I gotta weed that. Some tomatoes. My